My name is Vera O'Reilly and I reside in Canada. I reported unprofessional misconduct and sexual misconduct against Sheriff's Deputy Brian Smith of Gulf County Sheriff's Office in Florida. I wasn't given a case number, nobody contacted me, nobody got back to me, my emails were ignored, so I had no idea if they were taking me serious. There were plane tickets to come here, and I was frightened that he was still going to come here, and telling the sheriff this, he still didn't contact me, so I was frightened for 2 whole weeks. I had to go to an outside organization in order to get answers. Within 6 days, we finally got an answer, and it was guilty of breach for 1 police policy. He was given a verbal reprimand because he's never been accused of this before. My complaint included fraud against the citizens of Gulf County. He would hide, he would turn his radio down or off, he would fall asleep in his car, sexual misconduct in his patrol car and a bathroom while on duty. He was wearing his uniform. The sheriff's office failed to collect the records for the proper investigation. Brian used Facebook and Instagram to do these things online.
My name is Sergeant Don Jackson. I'm a retired police officer and I'm a police practices expert recently retained by client Vera O'Reilly for the purpose of investigating a complaint against a Gulf County, Florida Sheriff's Deputy. Ms. O'Reilly requested that I provide her with a report and my findings concerning her allegation that Deputy Brian Smith engaged in serious acts of misconduct while on duty and that the Gulf County, Florida Sheriff's Office ignored her complaint. I'm prepared to render my findings and discuss the evidence I reviewed for my opinion. My report is written within the guidelines of Federal Rule 26 concerning expert witness testimony, and my credentials can be found on my website bio page. My fees will be provided as part of my final report. On February 28th, Vera O'Reilly contacted my office reporting that a Gulf County, Florida deputy was engaged in misconduct on duty. Ms. O'Reilly reported that Deputy Brian Smith was both masturbating in his patrol car, misusing crime scene evidence, sleeping on duty, dodging radio calls, insulting accident victims and arrestees, and mocking his superiors through a chain of emails, text messages, and video chat sessions that Ms. O'Reilly personally witnessed. Ms. O'Reilly also reported that Deputy Smith regularly hid from work assignments and made himself unavailable while on duty as he engaged in internet sex acts from his patrol car. I notified the Sheriff's Office in a recorded telephone call on March 6, 2017 about the misconduct involving Deputy Smith.
Videos, things that he said on duty in the patrol car.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're aware of the matter, but in any event, you need to be based on what I've seen. And I'm a retired police detective, and what I saw was worrisome. The officer's making lewd comments, he's making threats, he's bragging about abusing prisoners, and he, at least in the evidence that I saw, has been giving her photographs and information from crime scenes. So the woman said she has already reported the complaint, and her name is Vera O'Reilly, but she said that she didn't think she was getting anywhere with the sheriff's office, and I wanted to make her certain that you were aware of it and that there was an investigation ongoing.
6 days after I delivered evidence to the sheriff's office, Deputy Smith was given a verbal reprimand. In explaining the decision not to sanction Deputy Smith with a more severe punishment, the sheriff told me that the conduct was off-duty and therefore his hands were tied. The sheriff also told me that he did not receive a file folder that I gave him containing videos of Deputy Smith masturbating.
Do you like this, my queen?
And engaging in other misconduct on duty. My investigation demonstrates that Deputy Smith violated several policies related to the conduct of law enforcement officers, both on and off duty. Though the masturbation videos he sent were filmed from Deputy Smith's home, They are not exempt from departmental policy solely because he was off duty. Any public official, and especially a police officer, who recklessly sends pornographic materials over the internet is violating departmental policy. It is a basic example of conduct unbecoming and conduct detrimental to the agency that employs the officer. Moreover, a deputy who sends multiple pornography videos to a total stranger he has never met over the internet raises serious questions about his judgment and character. I must also challenge the sheriff's contention that there is not enough evidence to proceed with a more thorough and comprehensive investigation and greater sanctions against Deputy Smith. Ms. O'Reilly provided dates and times of on-duty misconduct, and she made repeated attempts to contact the sheriff's office on multiple occasions by email. Though the sheriff may not have received the documents I sent him, Ms. O'Reilly sent him a duplicate set of the very same documents a month and a half before I started the case. Many of the charges required very modest investigation and evidence collection. For example, Ms. O'Reilly pointed out that Deputy Smith regularly chatted with her on Facebook for hours at a time while on duty. She provided screenshots of many of the sessions both on and off duty. The sheriff's office did not attempt to collect the records. It is my opinion, to a reasonable degree of professional certainty, that Deputy Brian Smith engaged in repeated acts of misconduct while acting as a law enforcement officer. It is also my opinion that the disciplinary measure initially imposed by the sheriff was deficient. Ms. O'Reilly has asked that I submit a request to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement seeking the decertification of Deputy Brian Smith to prevent him from continuing to work as a law enforcement officer in the state of Florida. Based on my review of the evidence, I support her request.